Call the City of Westfield, Indiana Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order for March 22nd, 2017. Please note the presence of a quorum.
We do have a quorum.
Very good. The first agenda item is consideration and approval of minutes from February 22nd, 2017. Having had opportunity to review those, are there any additions, corrections, or comments? Hearing none, entertain a motion.
Move to accept.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action item number 1, the meeting minutes from February 22nd, 2017. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business under agreements and memorandum of understanding is action item number 2, revocable license agreement, Emmy Way, 18881 Emmy Way.
So Emmy is going through a campus-wide local wayfinding signage plan, and there are 2 or 3 other signs that they're wanting to put in our right-of-way. We're looking at just doing a standard encroachment permit, but to have a little bit more coverage, we went ahead with the revocable license agreement. Pretty straightforward document. I've looked at all the signs. There's no issues from a safety perspective. There's one close to the East Street and 191st roundabout. There, yeah, right there on the southwest quadrant. There is one to the west of that, to their first drive. Yeah, there you go, right there. And then there's another one south, goes straight south like 1,000 feet.
Down by Union Street.
Yep, by Union. Keep going. Right there by the curve to the west.
Yep.
Over here?
Yep, right there, in that little triangle there.
Okay.
Yep. So future right-of-way needs, there's no additional right-of-way we're gonna be taking in the next 50 years, so there's not any issue with that. And if there were a need with this revocable license agreement, basically they would remove the sign at their cost and replace it, relocate it at their cost. So there's really no risk exposure to Westfield at all. Is that basically right?
Very good. Move to accept.
Second.
Had a motion has been made and seconded to accept action item number 2, revocable license agreement 18881 Emmy Way, Emmy. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And let the record show I abstain. Motion carries. On to action item number 3, construction engineering contract, handicap ramps.
So we've got an HSIP project coming through. They're about to start construction. It is a ADA curb ramp improvement project. So a bunch of the curb ramps bringing up to spec, bringing up to ADA standards. All throughout Westfield, there's areas, I don't even know exactly where, but all through, mostly the downtown area. As part of that, we need to have, it's an NDOT project, so we need to have inspection. There's a certain program they use, it's called Site Manager. None of our guys are certified quite yet. So we are basically required to sub out the consulting work for that. So this is United Consulting contract. I think it's not to exceed $11,700 to basically do that.
At the bottom?
Yeah, it's section D is the cost.
So it's an NDOT project?
Yep.
It's a federally funded HSIP project, so through the MPO. Yeah. Yeah. So,
What's our contribution?
right.
Our contribution is this, specifically this 11.7 plus 10% of construction.
And are we bringing things up to code, or are they already to code and we're just improving?
No, we're improving. So anything that is outside of ADA compliance.
So we're bringing them up to code.
Yeah,
No.
it's a safety improvement project.
They're already at code, correct?
No.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you
Yeah.
just said they were at code.
they are not.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
So we
sorry.
are taking old infrastructure and bringing up to modern standards.
Okay, got it.
So is that essentially the orange section with the bumps on it?
For the most part, yeah. Those ramps that you see that have the truncated domes, yeah, those are ADA.
And they'll be putting in ramps where ramps aren't currently,
Right.
at regular road crossings, things like that. So, whereas in many places in the older parts of town, you have to step off of the curb to cross the street. They'll come in and retrofit and put in a ramp.
And what's the time frame on that project?
Starting construction here soon. The notice to proceed went out today, I believe, from NDOT to Olco is the contractor of it.
And the length of the project?
Ooh, it'll take probably 3 months. Maybe it's not a ton of work. It's a pretty short project.
So how does this bring us up? Do you have other locations in the future?
Yeah, I mean, there's areas that we weren't able to hit because we ran out of money with the allotted funding that we were given, so we might submit in the future for a similar project to hit the rest of the areas.
Assuming you're working on the key, most important areas first and.
Yep, areas near the library, near the schools, downtown.
The older part of town.
Yep.
We're fortunate to be a young enough city that most of our neighborhoods are in compliance. It's
Yeah.
the older pieces that aren't.
Make a motion to approve action item number 3.
Second?
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 3, construction engineering contract handicap ramps. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 4, establishment of the technical review committee for Grassy Branch Creek Restoration Project.
So Grassy Branch Creek is the riparian corridor referenced in the Grand Junction Plaza project, so the stream downtown where Grand Junction will be. We're handling the construction of that with a design-build contract. Per state statute, we have to develop a technical review committee to review and select the contractor that will design and therefore build. The requirements are representative of the public agency or the city, a professional engineer, and then a registered architect. We are proposing that I be the representative from the city, Phil be the engineer, and then David Rubin, who is our landscape architect, be the third member of that technical committee. So today we're just asking for approval of those 3 people to establish that technical review committee.
The project's out to bid.
Project is currently out to bid.
Yep.
Due when?
April 6th, 2 p.m.
Right. So we have to have this established before we can award the project.
Make a motion to approve action item number 4.
I'll second that. A motion made and seconded to approve action item number 4, establishment of the technical review committee for Grassy Branch Creek Restoration Project. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 5, Keeneland Park Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement.
So this is a road impact fee credit agreement for not to exceed $5,000. To give you a little history, it was brought to our attention, or a neighborhood complaint came in for so here's Keeneland Park to orient you. This is 169th Street and Spring Mill Road.
So it's Garetti across the street north?
Yep.
Okay, yep.
Yep. Internal to this subdivision, the UDO and our construction standards require that every intersection have lighting. Our standards didn't and still don't define the intersection of this pedestrian trail and the roadway as an intersection. So when it was coming through the plan review process, it wasn't required. A member of the community issued a complaint that this is dark and needs to be lit. We reviewed that with our team and the ECD team as well, and Beazer has offered to install it, and we're splitting the cost, and then half of that is going to be reimbursable through road impact fees, not to exceed $5,000. So we haven't actually defined.
Aren't those future home sites to the left?
They are, yeah, so that's a section break. Actually, the name of the street changes right here as well, which further complicated the issue when we were talking about it, because the interpretation.
So there's gonna have to be lights there at some point.
That's what we're doing with this agreement.
Right,
is
but that's what I'm
installing.
saying, we might as well.
It wouldn't be required, but we think it's warranted.
Oh,
So we're gonna agree to give them impact fee credits and then share the cost of installing a light in this area. And we're still working to determine whether it's going to be closer to the curve or closer to this pedestrian area or in the middle, essentially.
have you talked to that resident?
This is all common space.
No.
It would go here or here. We haven't, I don't believe there's homes.
The one on the right.
This one here?
Yes, sir.
No.
But a resident of that neighborhood is the one that registered the complaint.
Correct.
I'd still let them know if that's not the one that registered the complaint. If that house is the one that registered the complaint about the darkness.
That we're gonna do it.
Yeah, not what do you think, but that we need to put it in.
Yeah, we certainly would. We just got to determine where we're gonna, the best location for it, and then we'll send out a letter to everyone letting them know. This is just acknowledgement, and essentially giving me the right to approve this road impact fee agreement, committing the city to up to $5,000 to make this a safer crossing.
So those are sidewalks on either side of the road in the neighborhood?
Yeah, these are sidewalks, and this is an internal pedestrian trail.
Internal trail, okay.
So it's not our trail, it's not in our right of way.
Okay.
It's not technically defined as an intersection, but we think.
But it'll be a road, right? Because
It's the road is this, we can see it go, and then this is just a pedestrian
Oh,
trail.
I see what you're saying.
And-
Oh, that
and it
pedestrian.
will-
Like in
Okay.
countryside or something, the
Yeah, I
paved
see what you're
paths?
saying
A
now.
mid-block crossing.
Yeah, mid-block
Okay,
crossing.
all right,
And
all right.
it's
And the
not
sidewalks will
uncommon.
continue when they build the homes?
Oh, absolutely.
But it still will be a crossing of
Yeah.
that path?
Yeah, so you'll still have your right-of-way sidewalks.
Okay.
This is just to light that perpendicular pedestrian crossing.
Make a motion to approve action item number 5, Keeneland Park Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement.
Second?
A motion made and seconded to approve action item number 5, Keeneland Park Road Impact Fee Credit Agreement. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 6, Westfield Standards and Specifications 2017 revision.
So this is a riveting one. Every year we go through our standards and specs.
Riveting?
Riveting, yeah, certainly. We go through our standards and specs and kind of bring things up to speed. Last year we did a major overhaul. We went through it in pretty good detail, specifically to our HMA, our asphalt testing procedures. This year it was pretty minimal. We added some testing for the surface, which wasn't in there. There's some concrete. We're going to start in some of our neighborhoods. You'll see some heaving in the concrete between lot lines and at driveways. So we've added some specs in there to minimize that. There's a couple other revisions in there. I don't know if you had a chance to sift through it, but everything's highlighted in yellow. That's modified for this year. Pretty straightforward stuff. Nothing like it was last year, where it was a major overhaul. I don't know if you guys had any questions or had a chance to look at it, but
I skimmed it.
yeah, I don't blame you.
No, I wanted them to look at this dip problem we continually have. It's primarily where sidewalks are poured and
Yep.
utilities crossed underneath, and 2 years later, we end up with a dip in the sidewalk.
Yep.
Pretty common,
Okay.
so it's a good thing.
All right.
Make a motion to approve action item number 6, Westfield Standards and Specifications 2017 revisions.
Second?
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 6, Westfield Standards Specifications 2017 revision. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action item number 7, Rodabush Westfield.
Try to make a long story short, this has to do with the Midland. These are titles that were vested in the city of Noblesville, or so it appeared as far as the county was concerned. Turns out they may not own it, or Noblesville did not own it. They gave it to us, though. And I think, Phil's gonna check as soon as I get the stuff to him, that we avoided the Rodabush territory when we built the Midland, so we don't need it anyway. If he wants to sell it or take a loan out against the property, and it's showing up as an issue with his title work. So I'm asking for a motion for Jeremy to sign the quitclaim deeds if and when we deem it appropriate.
Where's, just generally, where's the Rowdebush section of,
Straight north of here.
Yeah, directly north of the pond. You'll recall when we built that Modon Trail piece back here, we shifted Midland. Sorry, we shifted it onto the campus property, so that's why it's adjacent to the ponds back there. And I'll show you on the map. It's easiest to look at it. That reason being is Rowdebush was not a willing seller. And given our general proximity, we were able to shift it over. So this is what was the Midland corridor. This is where the trail lies now. The Rowdebush piece is right here.
Yeah, we were able to avoid them.
Yep.
But I think Noblesville gave us a chance, and so we end up on the title.
The original search showed the city of Noblesville owned that property. That's how it was on the deed maps. But in reality, they did not.
got it.
Right.
Perfect. You've been suing us for about 6 years.
So now we do own it because they gave it to us and we're just gonna give it to him to make it
Now
go.
Noblesville gave us something they didn't own.
They gave us something they didn't own.
Right.
Gotcha, now,
And
okay,
their hands are,
right.
we don't know anything. But Melody was real aggressive at getting all those parcels titled in Noblesville, and that's why we had it.
Yeah, I was a little confused there for a moment, but I'm good now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just needed to hear it one more time. I make a motion to approve action item number 7, Rowdebush Westfield.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action item number 7, the Rowdebush Westfield land issue. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And make sure you put in there that they granted authority for Jeremy to sign.
Thank you.
Yes. That was included in my motion.
I got it.
On to the consent agenda, March bond information. Anyone need any information or any discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Moved.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to department reports. Chief Reed.
Well, I don't have a written report with you. We're in the process of rebuilding most of our reports, run reports. We just finished, I'm sure Chief Rush will have some things to say. We just finished up changing and switching over to CAD. So we're on New World CAD in the dispatch center. That really was done last week, but we're still kind of working the bugs out, as they say. So we'll have some reports for you next month. But we're in the process of, it's a crystal report now, which is different than what we built before. So we're having to rebuild all those. We're also redoing some of them, so it's a work in progress that way. I did want to say, that Deputy Chief Rob Gaylor has spent an inordinate amount of time. And I think it's been a real asset to that whole overall group. We met, I want to say it was 2 Fridays ago, and he's built built a really good plan for us, and we've really he covered every base, and it's if you look at the detail and page after page after page. He did a remarkable job, and so I don't know if you would know Rob if you saw him, but the reality of it is he did some really yeoman's work. I'm really proud of him.
This is on this reporting you're talking about?
On the, what's that?
On the reporting or on the
On
new
everything.
software?
Literally, I mean, he built all of our, so we had to go in and basically rebuild all of our responses to all these different things, right? And we had to do it in the new.
Because of the software?
Yeah, because it's a new CAD, right? We were in another Aussie CAD, so he did all that, and Chief Rush can talk about all the things that they had to do as well. But the reality of it is that there's good and bad to the whole process. But I have to say he did yeoman's worth of work. We have our recruits are graduating on the 29th of next week. Officially through we did a joint recruit academy with Carmel. They're done on the 29th. We're doing a similar graduation on Friday the 31st, but we also have promotions, so people have been promoted. We're going to cover a whole bunch of people going a ways back. So I think we have a total of like 8 or 9, I think, when it's all said and done. So that'll be the 31st. I was going to just give kudos to the mayor. I was at the Grand Junction 32 widening thing, and no one, you know, they weren't lining up with pitchforks or tar and feathers, so you did a really, really good job.
Yeah.
And then we just got a new merit board commission member, a lady by the name of Janine Fortier. I don't know if you know her or not. She's really good. She was an engineer by trade.
She was an
She
engineer?
was an engineer by trade.
didn't
Back
know.
when women weren't engineers, she's a pretty remarkable lady. If you get a chance to talk to her, you should. What's that?
I'll tell you how old she is. She's a Northwestern High School graduate of my class in 1969.
I have no idea. She looks very good for her.
I didn't think she was that.
I don't know. Anyway, she's an incredibly enjoyable lady, and I'm really going to enjoy having her on the board. She's really sharp, and so that would be good.
I didn't even know she lived here until she got heavily involved in the Spring Mill Station project out on the west side and just did a great job.
Yeah. Anyway, she and her husband, I think they worked up in Kokomo, didn't they?
I don't
I
know.
can't
That's
recall,
where
but
they're
anyway,
from, obviously.
apparently they got a golden parachute, and they're both retired and enjoying themselves. So, and then I think really the only other thing of note is we're still in the running. I don't know. I have not paid attention to the State House down here for the last week or so, but we're still in the running as a potential. Our training center is a potential state site for a state fire training academy. And so it's sitting in Ways and Means right now, so I don't know where it's at after that. I don't know, he might actually know, but he keeps stuff from me all the time.
Appreciate the continued support of your fire marshal with training
Oh, good,
and different types of training and being very supportive.
good.
I appreciate that.
Chief Harlan, he does a good job.
Yes.
You shoot him away in the fire lanes up there, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was an exciting phone call from the field house that day. Your fire marshal's in here shutting us down.
Does anybody have any questions?
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
You bet.
Chief Rush?
So I have our 2016 I call it yearbook, annual report for you two. You have yours already.
Yes, I did.
I like those. Our own Amanda Air puts those together for us. And this year we actually did it in-house. Last year we spent $2,000 to have somebody print it for us, and this year we did it for under $200 in-house.
Nice.
And
Yes.
it's actually,
Does he get a shovel or an award or, no, that was,
He's working towards a green hat.
Murphy got the red shovel, didn't she?
yeah, you don't want the shovel.
Biggest overspent budget in this whole city.
Strike that one from the public.
So it is what it is. I look at it as a yearbook, so an officer can look back, years and see themselves in it. My goal is to always have at least a picture of everybody in there.
Look how thin I looked.
Right. I've noticed since the one that we put out in 10, my hair has gotten a lot whiter. But those are all updated photos in the front of they're taken from our 17 composite, so which will be hopefully a copy of that provided for City Service Building 2, which will be coming out here in the next couple weeks. Other than that, like Chief Reed's indicated, we've been going through the transition to our new world software. And like Rob, we had on our end, we had Amanda Staley and Mike Bickroy, who put our plan together. By plan, we mean just that, just like any of the events that we manage, we put a plan together for the transition, and they put that together. And Rob actually helped us too. And I think we also need to at least touch on IT, our own IT people have been like daily over at our place. I think we had Sam, Adam, and Brian there on a daily basis since we transitioned. And they're doing a great job and put a lot of time in, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, the software upgrade has been in the works for nearly 10 years. And it's not exactly what we wanted, but we have to live with it.
No, and
Everybody's
like
getting through it.
Chief talked about, it's going to affect us for a while. It's going to change the way we do things, even like the reporting that you're used to seeing. We're going to have to come up with new ways of doing what we used to do, and we'll figure that out. But it's going to take some time, so just bear with us.
He has a lot more stuff. They have a lot more devices. and stuff. There's a lot more work out there.
Everything we do is connected to that software, so it's tough on our guys right now, and there's a lot of them are pretty frustrated. So, but we're getting through it. Other than that, we have a volleyball tournament tonight for Relay for Life at the high school that we're going to put the team in. So that should be pretty fun. And
You had a very successful coffee with the cop.
we did. The other thing is we're going to lose a chaplain. Jason Lathers has accepted a full-time job for the Army. He's going to be moving down to Texas with his family and serving the Army in the same capacity as what he's doing for us. So,
Where in Texas?
not sure exactly. It's down on the border somewhere. It's south. So we're looking to replace him. I'm interviewing a pastor by the name of Daniel Minton, who is pastor at Baptist Church on 191st Street next week. So, and I've talked to him for several years now, and he'll probably be our next one.
Tim Krupski's still there.
And Tim is still there. But other than that,
This is nice. Who did this?
Amanda.
That's really nice.
It's a good job. Again, talking about training from a local business standpoint, had a meeting with Officer Larison. I'm waiting to hear back from him so we can,
Yeah, he's got the green light. It's basically just trying to put the program together for you that fits your
Okay.
needs. So.
I had to contact him so then we can do a survey kind of thing, but really appreciate, it's just the overwhelming response of the police and the fire departments at the request of, business for safety assistance and training type of thing. And it's an incredible resource and we very much appreciate all the cooperation. Thank you. Anything else for Chief Rush?
No, I bug him enough. Both of them.
Thank you. I'm going to show this to the marching department.
They both did a stellar job out at the Chamber of Commerce the other day.
From Nashville, yeah.
Meaning Charles did a great job.
He loves doing that kind of thing, so he does a great job.
Yeah, he's a great guy as well. So. All right. Public Works.
First, I'll apologize for the report not making the agenda. We will distribute a copy for your review after this, and then also make sure that it's posted on the website in case anyone else would like to bore themselves with reading it. First, I'd like to give some praise to Angie. She has been working on a software, working with the fire department on a software called Target Solutions, which in their capacity is utilized for management of training. So it's a training tracking software. So you put all your trainings in there and then you can manage that, make sure everyone is getting the safety training and other trainings that they need. I think we're going to expand on that a little bit and kind of customize it toward managing some other stuff for us, bonds and other things that we need notifications on a regular basis. So she's been working pretty hard on that. It's going to be great for us in the future. So thank you, Angie. Streetwise, pothole patrol is still out. The engineering department has evaluated all of our roads and gotten updated Pacer ratings. So our asset management plan has been updated, which we are now evaluating to develop our resurfacing program, our spring resurfacing. So that'll be coming
You'll
out.
get that all to our counselors in another.
It will, yeah.
Next week.
Yep, as soon as we finalize it, and then that'll go out to bid here in the next month or so, and we'll roll into early summer with some new black roads. The park maintenance team, which is really still the street maintenance team, their heavy focus right now is preparations for a new playground and safety surface out at Quaker Park. So it consists of removal of the existing playground, which is about 17 years old, so it was well past its life expectancy. The removal of all the mulch. We had mulch problems on the splash pad. It gets into the drain systems and causes problems. So out there you'll have a different type of safety surface that is similar to artificial turf. Parts of it will look like grass. Other parts will be colored and fun for the kids. So that starts going in mid-April. So doing demo right now. So the landscape's changing a little bit out there. Construction-wise, we've got the same projects that are ongoing that have been working all winter, which is Westfield Boulevard Extension. Primary focus right now out there is the underground detention systems. When they wrap that up, they can start road construction. Ditch Road, they remobilized last week, so that you'll start seeing some more activity out there. We are wrapping up planning for 186 in Springville. Still trying to figure out one parcel that's been a little troublesome, so hopefully we can get going on construction in that in July. And then the Mill Street extension, they will remobilize out there in the next month, and surface will be down by the 1st of May is the deadline that we gave them. So that project they'll be finishing up this spring. And then Monon 7 will hopefully go to start construction later on this year, probably late summer, depending on how quickly we can get everything tied up out there. But that's the last piece of the Monon, which connects downtown Indy to Sheridan. So we'll have
That's
the Monon
huge.
completed all the way through. And then next year we come through with the bridge over 32.
Yeah.
So
And then,
that's the last.
so
piece.
how long will that piece take?
What's the construction timeline on the last section of the Monon?
Under a year.
Under you?
Yeah, so we'll finish it up next year, probably midsummer next year, I would say, depending on how quickly we get to go to
And we start the
construction.
bridge next year over 32?
Yeah, start the bridge as early as July of 18, and that's a year construction too, and then
That'll probably wrap up the following fall.
following fall, a little over a year. But that's kind of what we're doing, business as usual. We've been fortunate not to have many snow events this year, which is doesn't really save us any money on salt because we're still contracted to purchase a certain amount. We're getting creative with our storage of salt because of the light winter. But what it is going to do is allow us to evaluate our pre-treatment process. We've only had one contracted snow event this year, so that's about $20,000 compared to $150 on a normal winter. So we're going to utilize that savings in snow removal and implement a brine system. So we'll start applying brine like what you see on the state highways and a lot of the other cities in Hamilton County. We should have that up and running by the next time it gets cold. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm from the West Coast. Why do you do that? I know I put salt down, I got that one.
So brine is essentially dissolved salt. So when you put
Okay.
salt on the road,
It
you
just
have to
stays
have
there?
Stays
precipitation
there.
in order to
You know how when they
dissolve it.
spread the salt and about an hour later, you can
It's
see
all
where
on
the
the sides?
tire
Yeah.
paths are?
Yeah.
Yeah, what this does, we essentially have a machine out here that'll dissolve the salt for us, and then we'll put down a solution on the ground, and then you'll see, when you're driving around, you'll see lines on the road.
Right.
That's the brine system. So, and then it sits there for 3 or 4 days, which makes us a little more efficient up front. We can do it on normal work hours in preparation for the event, and then when snow or rain or whatever starts to come down, it activates the salt.
I'd say we were pretty nice to you your first winter here, Chief Reed.
Yeah.
Don't get used to it.
Good thing.
You're gonna get the green hand.
It happens once every 10 years.
Green hand again.
I'm gonna try.
That line gets up in your car real good. Yeah, rust places you never.
You should space yourself behind the Bryan truck. Or turn away. Yeah, that's kind of
Thank
what
you
we're,
for that, that's
sure. Kind of what we've got going on is what we're working on. Pretty busy as normal. So happy to answer any questions you might have.
I have a couple of quick ones after the meeting for you. Anything for Jeremy? Thank you. Any other business, sir?
You've done well, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.